A very good morning, it's Fabio and welcome to another daily market outlook. EURUSD has pushed down lower once again yesterday, breaking that area of demand that we had here on the daily time frame. Now, looking at the daily, obviously there is potential for some form of a pullback, but it is still extremely bearish. Therefore, I'm only interested in looking for shorts as I'm not trying to call the bottom of this overall impulse in towards the downside. Looking here at the weekly time frame real quick, we can also see that the weekly is in a bearish trend. We had the impulse down, we had this entire correction, and now it does seem like we're going to be forming a new lower low on euro dollar. Now, going back in towards the daily, what is currently the structure that we're looking at? Well, we understand that this at the moment is our fractal high, and that this at the moment is your fractal low. So we're trading in between this high and in between this low, and we understand that the market can just pull back and then just continue. So I got my eyes open for a few levels, mainly being this one over here, and it's going to become more clear on the 4-hour time frame, because if we do go into the 4-hour, what you're going to see over here is that we have a fresh area of supply positioned over here, and we have another fresh area of supply positioned over here. So these are the two main areas of supply that I'm looking to short EURUSD further in towards the downside. At the moment, I identify this high as liquidity. I would love to see that be taken out and then look for a potential short with bearish confirmation inside that area of supply. Obviously, we could also move up even higher, take out these two equal highs, and then again, a short in towards the downside would still hold my preference. So this is what I'm looking for on euro dollar. At the moment, it's not interesting for shorts, in my opinion, also not interesting for longs. Yes, we did see a 4-hour change of character over here if you are very mechanical, in the sense that we saw this, and now you could expect a further upside push, but I'm not trying to long in a bearish market where the overall momentum is clearly in towards the downside, because we can fall down lower at any moment in time. So what I want to do is I want to play with the probabilities, and the highest probability plays are definitely these two shorting opportunities. So keeping my eyes open for if EURUSD does push into those levels. Now, going into the dollar index, what can we see from the dollar? The dollar is currently slowing down. Going into the daily, what can we see has happened? Well, on the daily time frame, and this is just a drawing that I have from yesterday, but on the daily time frame, we can see that we're currently stalling inside this area of supply. So this supply zone, and I know there are a lot of zones on my screen over here, but this supply zone over here is most interesting because we have two equal lows, or excuse me, equal highs right below it. So what I'm now doing is I'm going into the 4-hour time frame and identifying, okay, is there any sign of a potential pullback play in towards the downside? So looking here at the 4-hour time frame, the fractal structure is still extremely bullish. This is your 4-hour fractal low, this is your 4-hour fractal high. So still there is no bearish confirmation looking here at the dollar index until we break this low over here. Okay, so we could just grab this low as a liquidity, pushing towards that demand zone, and then just continue up higher, which will cause EURUSD, like we just explained, to fall down lower. So interested only in that until we, for example, see a high break over here, then a low break over here, and then see like a double low break. That is the only moment that I'm going to be looking at a potential bearish trend kicking in, and that could confirm this daily supply zone playing out. So do keep in mind, yes, we could see further downside from the dollar index as we are inside daily supply, but the 4-hour for now is still extremely bullish, with us being in a bullish fractal range, being from this low in towards this high. So there's nothing at all telling me at the moment that the dollar is going to head down lower, besides us just seeing some form of a daily bearish candle, which hasn't even formed inside a daily supply zone. So we're not going to jump the gun, we're just going to wait for the 4 hours to show us that, and that could be potentially next week, because otherwise I just expect higher prices from the dollar. Going into AUDUSD here on the daily time frame, we can see another bearish candle yesterday, further pushing it in towards the downside. Going into the 4-hour, we can, however, see that we're still stuck inside this 4-hour area of demand, which I highlighted in yesterday's video. At the moment, what you can see is that we stalled inside that supply zone from yesterday, and currently this supply zone is in control. So again, the overall order flow is still bearish. I am not interested in any longs at this point in time. Maybe if we break this high, we could see some short-term upside momentum in towards this supply zone, but for now only looking at further downside from this pair. Not looking directly to short it this morning just yet, but if you are interested in looking for shorts, yes, obviously we have now grabbed liquidity, pushed in towards 50-minute supply. So this is your 50-minute supply zone. You can see here very clearly a double top. So wait now for example, this 50-minute low to go, look for the pullback, and then look for that shorting opportunity on AUDUSD. Going into GBPUSD next. So GBPUSD has also pushed down lower once again. Looking here at the daily time frame, we are nearing that overall swing low, which I've been looking out for over here, and obviously also that daily area of demand as well. So I'm also looking for further downside still on GBPUSD. Going into the 4-hour time frame, what can we see? So here on the 4-hour time frame, what you're going to see is that we actually just missed out on this refined area of supply. So this is exactly the reason why I just prefer to take the entire order flow, because if you use only a refined area of supply like just this single candle, you're going to be missing out on a lot of trades. Here you see take the entire buy before the sell. This over here is your liquidity high. Then what happens? We come above that liquidity high, and then straight away we sell off in towards the downside. So for me, GBPUSD is ready now to take out this low over here, and definitely looking at some further downside this morning into the New York session and trading it in towards this area of daily demand before seeing any sign of a potential pullback back in towards the upside. So not interested in anything but shorts on GBPUSD. Going into NZDUSD, we can see that we have reached that target which I set at the beginning of the week. So good to see that getting hit. Now moving into because look at the daily time frame, what you can now see is that we've grabbed liquidity underneath a major swing low, which could hint to a potential pullback on this pair. Go into the 4-hour time frame, what can we see over there? Well, we can see very similar price action as on AUDUSD, supply still being in control. So supply zone over here, this buy up before a sell is still in control. Am I interested in shorting it? No, it's a lot less interesting than, for example, GBPUSD or AUDUSD, because we have already grabbed a major swing low here on the daily time frame. So therefore, I would prefer to stay out of NU. It was nice at the beginning of the week, but now it's not interesting anymore. For now, I would stay out of it, but obviously it is still bearish. We do have now liquidity grabbed above this high over here, and we still have these two equal lows open. So obviously a short holds my preference, but do keep in mind with the daily time frame, grabbing this overall major swing low where a lot of liquidity lies underneath, it is not ideal to look for shorts at this very moment until we see some more momentum kick in again. And then yes, once it is confirmed that this low is just nothing, then we'll look to trade towards this next major swing low over here at around 0.57744. So yeah, that's the next target if we can see some confirmation of the bearish momentum. So there might be some more trades here, another 70 pips short in towards the downside. Now, last of all, gold. Gold has continued its bearish trend down lower. Again, you can very clearly see how we pretty much just miss out on tagging into this demand zone. Going into the 4-hour, we can still, however, see that the bearish momentum is there. At this point in time, we mentioned this in yesterday's video, this is pretty much the wick at the moment that is causing stress and causing further downside pressure on gold. At the moment, this is my supply zone over here on the 1-hour time frame. So what I'm looking for is again just only further downside. We can again see that supply is in control, the overall order flow is bearish, so we should sell off once again in towards the downside, maybe grab liquidity one more time, push up, maybe push up into these refined areas of supply, grab all of these descending highs, and then sell off if we do not already sell off from here. So look to trade the immediate order flow down lower, or if we do push up higher, you could look for another short from the extreme areas of supply. Go into the 4-hour time frame and then understand that there is still, and let me just clean up the chart for you, that there is still supply over here that can be taken and grabbed, and that would be a nice shorting opportunity. As well, with a lot of descending highs over here. So this is the optimal entry, and you could also take an immediate entry from where we are currently positioned, just with the immediate 1-hour order flow further in towards the downside, and then trade that in towards that daily area of demand, which is this daily area of consolidation over here. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you in the next one.